The forest began to thin by midday. What had once been a dense canopy of shadow and silence gave way to open skies, scattered sunlight flickering off leaves like broken mirrors. The path ahead was cluttered now, carved with the feet of travelers long gone, their stories woven invisibly into the dirt and roots beneath. No one spoke for a while. There was a shared energy among the three of them, a quiet tension, not quite fear, not quite excitement. It was the feeling that came just before something changed. Lyra walked at the front, the short stone secured in her pack but still heavy on her thoughts. She kept glancing ahead, toward the shifting horizon, trying to imagine what the spine would look like. Shed her stories as a child, jagged peaks like knives, stormlit passes where the wind carried voices, but now it was more than legend. It was real, and it was close. Ashen walked beside her, quieter than usual. His gaze was fixed not on the path but on the treetops, where birds flitted between branches and the wind moved like breath. He seemed steadier than he had been that morning, but also heavier, as if part of him still resented every step forward. Behind them, Ethan moved with the kind of vigilance that only years of lust could teach. His hand never strayed far from the hilt of his knife, his eyes constantly sweeping the edges of the trail. But even he seemed to sense that something unseen had shifted between them. It wasn't until he came to a small rise where the trees finally opened fully to reveal the valley below that Lars stopped there, she said. The others came to stand beside her. Far across the valley, led the spot of some ancient buried creature. The mountains rose in jagged silence, Sereth's spine, gray and distant, wrapped in low cloud and time. A place of endings and beginnings. No one said anything for a long while. Finally, Ashen broke the silence. We've made it further than I thought we would. You didn't think we did this far? Even asked, voice wide and not accusatory. Ashen shrugged. I thought something would stop us, the forest, the shard and me. Lyra turned to him. We're not there yet, but we're close. Close enough that what we do next matters. Ashen's fingers switched at his side. What did we find? Nothing. What is Sereth's spine holds no answers, only more ruins. Eden responded before Lyra could. Then we make something out of the ruins. That's what we've been doing all along. Lyra walked the mountains for a long moment. Then, slowly, she reached into her pack and pulled out the shard. It caught the light again, just faintly, but enough to draw their eyes. It was smoother now, like something within it had been stirred away by the dawn. There's more of this, she said quietly. Somewhere out there, if we can find where it came from, we might finally understand why it still matters. Ashen didn't answer right away, but then, to Lara's surprise, he stepped forward and reached out not to take the shard, but to touch it, just briefly, as if grounding himself in its presence, and then slowly, he nodded. All right, he said, let's find what's left. They descended into the valley together, the wind behind them now. The sky had begun to darken again, streaked with the deep orange of a setting sun, and ahead, the spine waited silent and unmoving. But as they moved forward, something was different, not just in the land, but in them. They were no longer running from what had broken them. They were walking towards something new. And somewhere beyond the edge of the map, beyond fear and memory, a story was waiting to be written.